All right. Well, congratulations. You have completed the first part of the intake process by submitting all your documents to the intake specialist. This part of your intake appointment is to sign all the disclosures, and the video here is to help you understand what you're signing and signing at the same time. So at the end of this video, you will be able to provide all 25 pages to the intake person that you have executed. We're going to do this together. So your very first document is your Salidas House Inc. data release form and third-party authorization. So this form basically means that you are giving Salidas House authorization to have data released from other companies. For example, if we have to verify your income for a specific program, we can contact your employer and ask for that information. By you signing this document, you're telling the employer that it is okay to release that information to us. All right? So what we're going to do here is you're going to write your name. So go ahead and write your name. Then you're going to sign it. You're going to write the last four of your social and today's date. All right. You write today's date. All right. So now let's move on to the second form. Form number 2 is the credit report and background check authorization. This allows us to pull your credit report and to get a background check. So if you are doing rental counseling, if you are doing your intake appointment because you need help with rental housing, then our program requires that we pull a credit report. We will pull a background check if you ask us to. Okay, but for rental housing, a credit report is required. We will pull it. It does not affect your scores, and we will review it and give you a copy of the report. But before we do that, you have to fill this form out, giving us permission to do so. If you are here for pre-purchase counseling, then you will complete the form. We do not pull background checks for pre-purchase, and we only pull credit reports when applicable. So if you're using Credit Karma or if you're using a credit monitoring system, then we're not going to pull your credit report. We will continue to use whatever credit monitoring system you have, as long as you give access or provide the information to your housing counselor once one is assigned to you. All right. Okay. So we're going to fill this form out. You're going to type in your first name or write in your first name and your last name, and then your address, city, state, and the zip code. Then you're going to write in your social security number. Okay? Then once you do that, you're going to do your date of birth. If you are married and you want us to pull a joint credit report, then your spouse will fill out where it says spouse, and then where it says spouse social security number and spouse date of birth. If it's 2 adults in the household and you're not married, and so we're pulling individual credit reports, then each person needs to fill out their own form. So this adult should be sitting next to you, filling out a packet of their own forms. Right, so again, it just says that I hereby give permission to pull my credit report and background check for the purposes of my application for assistance in regard to housing, counseling, and other resource services. All information will be kept confidential between you and your counselor, and you further understand that we are not held or responsible for the information that is received on your credit report. So you're going to sign it, and you're going to put today's date. All right. All right, so now we're on to the next page. Page number 3. This is Salidas House Housing Counseling Program disclosure. So, as a HUD housing counseling agency, Salidas House must always inform every client of our programs and what we offer. Also understand that at no time are you required, obligated, or mandated to use any of our programs or partners that we work with. Now, with Salidas House, we are a CDFI, a Community Development Financial Institution, and we're also a HUD-approved housing counseling organization. So we do offer 2 sets of services that I will explain. The other thing about our program is that we serve every client, regardless of their income, race, color, religion, creed, sex, national origin, age, familial status, marital status, disability status, regardless of whether you get public assistance, sexual orientation, or gender identity. That's not of our concern. We help everyone. Oftentimes people will call and say, oh, well, I'm a single mom. It doesn't matter. We help single people, single moms, single dads, elderly people. It does not matter. We help everybody with housing counseling services. Now, what becomes different is if you're applying for a specific program, for example, the DARE down payment assistance. Those requirements may have an income requirement. But when receiving housing counseling services from Salidas House, we serve everyone. All right. So let's get into some of what we offer. So on our HUD housing counseling side, we offer financial management and budget counseling. We offer mortgage delinquency default resolution counseling, and that's foreclosure intervention. We offer pre-purchase counseling. We offer rental housing counseling. Now, we also offer workshops. We offer a financial budget and credit workshop. We offer non-delinquency post-purchase workshops. And we also offer rental workshops, in addition to homebuyer education and fair housing education workshops. Now, clients will often ask, well, Ms. Ike, I want to do pre-purchase and rental. You have to do one, and then you transition into another. You can't do 2 services or 2 counseling sessions at the same time. So you're either here for one of these services. Okay. Now, the other side of Salidas House, which is our CDFI, we have alternative services, programs, and products. And some of those things include an SOS loan, a Credit Builder Plus loan, a Credit Builder loan, flex loans, down payment assistance, Salidas House Purchase Renovation Opportunity Program, rental assistance program, and our Champ First Mortgage Loan. Now, all of these alternative services are all loans that we do to clients. So what's a good thing is for you to save this document so that when you sit with your housing counselor, if you think one of these loans could help you, then you and your housing counselor can review to determine whether or not it's a good fit for your situation. And again, not everybody use these. You're not obligated to use them, but at any time you can ask your housing counselor to review to see whether or not it would be beneficial for you. Okay? All right. So relationships with industry partners. As a HUD housing counseling agency, we have to tell you that we do have relationships with other industry partners. And those include HUD, Florida Housing Finance Agency, United Way, Rebuilding Together Tampa Bay, Federal Home Loan Bank, Bank United, Bank of America, Third Federal Savings and Loan, Wells Fargo, Capital One, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And these individual partners help us in one way or the other, whether it's to provide the ability to do counseling or funding or anything of that nature. So, but as a HUD housing counseling agency, we have to disclose to you who our industry partners are. Now, no client obligation. This is very important to us. Please understand that you are not obligated to receive, purchase, or use any services offered or referred to by Salidas House or its exclusive partners in order to receive housing counseling services. You can come in here and just get housing counseling services, and that's it. You don't have to get anything else. If a counselor discusses specific products, features, properties, or programs, they must provide at least 3 reasonable and comparable alternatives. So if you're asking the counselor about our credit builder loan, the counselor also has to discuss about 2 other options that may be available that are similar to our credit builder loan. It is your responsibility and based on decisions made of your own free will to determine which service, programs, or products best meets your goal. All right. So our organization conduct. So no Salidas House employee, director, volunteer, contractor, or agent shall undertake in any action that might result in or create the appearance of administering counseling operations for personal or private gain. Right? So everything that our counselors do, that our intake specialists do, all the employees here, we do to provide the service to the community. We're not doing to receive any personal gain. All right. Quality assurance. One of the things that we do here at Salidas House is our files get audited every year. So in order to assess client satisfaction and in compliance with grant funding requirements, our partners may contact you during or after the completion of your housing counseling services. They may request that you complete a survey, and that survey information is confidential. The only thing that we report on is the number of, let's say, clients that we served in the year, and of those clients, how many were female, how many were male, what were the age ranges. So we just do a vague, broad reporting. All right. Errors and admissions and disclaimer of liabilities. Salidas House, its employees, agents, directors are not liable for any claims and causes of action arising from errors or omissions by such parties or related to your participation in Salidas House Inc. counseling. So what this basically means in a nutshell is that we can talk to you and assist you to apply for a DARE down payment assistance. If they run out of money, you can't hold us liable. If they change the program requirements and now you're not eligible anymore, you cannot hold us liable. Okay? All right. So you're going to sign here and date. And then you're going to print your name here. So go ahead and sign your name. And then put today's date in. And then write your name here. All right. This information will be provided to you. All right, so let's go to the next page. The next page is our privacy policy. And so in order to ensure that your information is safe and stays confidential, Salidas House shreds all documents. Even if it's just your name on the document and nothing else, we still will put it in our shredder. Our shred company comes by, they shred the documents on site and give us a receipt to confirm that documents were shredded. We do not sell your information. We do not give your information out to any of our partners. None of your information, meaning your name, your address, your social security number, your employer, your occupation, account numbers, asset, expenses, income, none of that information is disclosed to agencies that don't need it. Now, we will disclose this information if it needs to be disclosed for the purposes of you applying for a certain program. Example, the City of Tampa's DARE down payment assistance requires that we share your social security number, your employer, your occupation, your account numbers, your assets, your expenses, and your income. And we do that so that they can see whether or not you qualify for the program. All right. So this privacy policy basically states that your non-public information is kept confidential unless it is needed to apply for a certain program. All right. Now, here is where you'll sign down here, releasing. So I hereby authorize Salidas House to release non-public personal information it obtains about me to my creditors and any third parties necessary to provide me with services I requested. So if you request the DARE down payment assistance, I acknowledge that I have read and understand the above privacy practices and disclosures. Okay. Now, if you opt out, that means that we cannot help you apply for any resources that may be available. Okay. All right. So you're going to print your name here, or write your name in. Then you're going to sign, and you're going to put today's date. So go ahead and do that. All right. So now the next document is the City of Tampa's privacy policy. So the City of Tampa wants you to know that the information that they get from us, they also do not share it and do not sell it at all. The information, your personal information, is secured. And again, they can't disclose certain information, but it's only to those agencies that need it for the purposes of determining whether or not you qualify for certain programs. So here you're going to release, and then you're going to sign your name here, and then date. If there's another household member and you guys are using the same packet, then the household member would sign here. But to make it more simple, the household member that's 18 and older should be signing their own packet sitting right next to you. All right? Okay. So our next document is our picture release document. So really, this is just you giving Salidas House permission to use your name and photograph, as well as that of any minor children in any current or future publications or marketing materials. You also give permission to use your story for further future news articles. Now, understand that we are a nonprofit organization. The best way for us to market our programs is through the success of our clients. So we often like to share those stories. Even if you sign this and say, Miss Aixa, it is okay for you to share the story, before I share, I will always call you. I want to make sure that you like the picture. I want to make sure that the information is good, that I'm not giving out more information that you want to. Okay? So if you don't want to at all, then you're going to check this here that says, I do not want my pictures and name used. So here you're going to write your name. And then if you're okay with us using your story, you're going to go ahead and sign and date. If you do not want your pictures and name used, then you're going to put an X here, and you're still going to sign and date. I definitely want to tell the world about my success with Salita's house. So absolutely, you can use my pictures and my name. So I am not going to put a check here. I'm going to type my name up here. I'm going to sign and date. All right. So now let's move on to our Salita's house fee sheet. Our Salita's house fee sheet. As a HUD housing counseling agency, I must inform you of the fees that we have. So right now, our homebuyer education classes, which we only do the 8-hour ones because of COVID, is free. We will eventually put a charge on it, but right now the classes are free. If you're receiving pre-purchase housing counseling, so if you took our homebuyer education, you get up to 4 hours of housing counseling services from us. Anything after that is $36.50 for the client that completes our Salita's house workshop. Now, understand that initial appointments must be scheduled and attended within 90 days of completing the homebuyer workshop, or free hours will be forfeited. So which means that if you took the class last year and now you want to start doing counseling, it's going to cost you $36.50. Okay. Now, I will tell you that if you're doing counseling and you're working with the counselor and you guys are progressing and you're seeing where, you're making strides, and you've used up your 4 hours, your counselor can ask management to give you more hours without paying the $36.50. We do it all the time for those clients that are really serious about purchasing their home and they just need additional hours. Okay. All right. So a copy of the home buyer certificate is $10. These certificates are emailed to you. So I suggest that you save them somewhere in your email, or you download them and save them to your laptop or something. But if we have to print another one or get you a copy, it will be $10. A tri-merge credit report is $27. Now, if you're receiving rental counseling or if you're receiving foreclosure intervention counseling, there is no charge. We can still run your credit report and we will not charge you. Copies of documents. So we will never keep copies of your documents. Once we get them, we scan them in and we return those documents to you. For some reason, if you need something out of your folder and we need to make copies, it will be a $1 per page fee. If you're receiving foreclosure intervention counseling, all of our services are free. I'm not allowed to charge you anything. If you cancel your appointment after 3 reschedules, we will charge you $36.50. All right. To avoid that, listen, if you're not ready, just don't schedule anything. Schedule your appointment when you know that you're ready to start this process. And that's for rental and pre-purchase. So, rescheduling or counseling appointments within 24 hours of your scheduled appointment, it's $36.50. Make sure that you reschedule prior to 24 hours of your appointment. Unfortunately, we have many people that make appointments and then there are no call, no show. And what happens is that now we've wasted that time where somebody else could have could have, used that time for that appointment. So we absolutely are strongly encourage you to please let us know as soon as possible when you cannot make it to your appointment and need to reschedule. To reopen a closed case due to non-response, or if you are a no-call, no-show, it is an automatic $40. Understand that all costs are non-refundable. Should one of the above costs cause a financial hardship, please discuss with a Salidas House representative prior to receiving services. We do have some scholarships available for City of Tampa eligible participants, and the fees can change without notice. So here are some helpful tips. Housing counseling works best when there is constant communication between you and your assigned counselor and our agency. To avoid the above fees, make sure to always communicate via email or phone calls. All appointments are scheduled through our appointment system. Please contact our office at 813-425-4847 or email admin@salidashouse.com if you're interested in scheduling an appointment. We will send you a link with instructions on how to schedule your appointment. Please understand that we do not accept walk-ins. If you have documents to submit to your counselor, please either drop them off to the office without having a scheduled appointment, or you can upload them to your virtual folder if you have access to it. Now listen, there is a difference between intake and housing counseling. Right now you are in the intake step. You are attending your intake appointment so that we can gather all the required documents, prepare your file so that when you meet with a HUD certified housing counselor, they have your information in order to really give you a true assessment of your situation. Without those documents, they cannot give you an accurate assessment. All right. Okay, so here you're going to print your name, or write your name, and then you're going to sign, and then you're going to put today's date. So go ahead and do that. All right, so then the next document is your monthly living expenses, and this is your budget. So what I want you to do, if you have not done this already, then you're going to go ahead and do it now. If you have done it, then make sure that it is in the packet or that your intake specialist has it. All right. So you're going to make sure that you write your name at the top. And then you're going to give me your gross monthly income. And it can be approximate. What is your gross? Remember, this is before taxes. So if I make $15 an hour and I work 40 hours a week, that is, I'm pulling out my calculator. $15, 40 hours, that's $600 a week. Times 52 weeks, that's $31,200 a month divided by 12. So that's $2,600 that I gross, meaning every month I earn $2,600. But what I bring home every month is totally different. So what I bring home could be $2,000, because remember that FICA, right? They take out for taxes and Social Security, so forth and so on. And then you're going to put the number in your family. So let's say that it's 2 people, me and I have a 10-year-old. Okay, this gross income is all the income that you earn in the month. It is the income that you're using in order to pay your expenses. So now we're going to go through your budget. And what you're going to do is you're going to fill out the column that says current. So the first one is Rent or mortgage. Are you paying rent? So let's say that I'm paying rent of $800. Let's say that I'm living with someone, so I don't have a second mortgage, I don't pay property taxes, I don't have renter's insurance, no home furnishings, or no repairs or improvements. All right, so utilities. Let's say that even though I pay $800 in rent, I do pay $80 a month in utilities, in electricity, I'm sorry. And then I don't pay for gas. I don't pay water, sewer. It's included in the 800. But I do have a cellular phone. And so my cell phone bill is $50 every month. Now we're going to go to groceries. And this is what I use outside of if I'm getting food stamps. So if I'm getting food stamps and it's $400, but I use an additional $80 or let's say $60 every month for like household supplies, I'm going to put $60 here. Okay. Now, if you buy food at work, do you eat out at lunch? Then you're going to put that here. And then if you buy any school lunches, whether it's your school lunch or whether it's your children's school lunch, you're going to put that amount here. Now we're going to go to transportation. If you have a car payment and you're making payments on that car, you're going to put your car payment there. You're going to put how much do you think you spend on gas every month. If you pay car insurance, you're going to put that there. Now, your maintenance and tires, your registration, parking, and those things, if you don't do it on a monthly basis, it's okay. If, for example, your maintenance, like if I get oil changes every quarter, so that's 4 times, and it cost me, $30 every time I go, that's 30 times 4 is $120. And then you can figure it out that way. If not, you can just leave it blank. Now, if you pay for parking or carpool, Uber or Lyft, or you take the bus, or you pay for tolls every single month, then put that approximate amount here. And remember, all these numbers are estimates. So now when we go clothing for the family, so clothing, if you buy clothes every single month, then put that number here. Okay? If you don't buy clothes every single month, then leave it blank. Now, if you do laundry, you want to put whatever it costs you to do laundry. And then if you have to buy diapers or other baby necessities, you can put that amount there. Okay, so now it's health insurance. Your health insurance is anything that you pay outside of what you're charged at work. So if you're getting health insurance from work, that's usually coming out of your check before you get your check. So do not include that. Okay. This is other health insurance. Same thing for doctor, dentist, and eye care. If you have any prescriptions that you have to pay for every single month, then you want to add that amount there. All right, so we're going to go to the other side. So, life insurance. If you have life insurance that you're paying every month, then I want you to put that there. If you're paying for baby care or babysitting every month, then you're going to put the total there. If you give allowance or spending money to your children, you're going to put that amount there per month. And then if you're paying alimony or child support, you're going to put what you pay per month. So now you have education. If you have tuition or school expenses, whether it's yours or whether it's a child, you're going to put that total monthly amount there. Any music or other lessons, cheerleading, dance, football, basketball, any of those things, anything that you pay per month, you're going to put that there. If you have student loans that you're currently paying on, you're going to put your monthly amount here. Your donation in church. If you tithe or if you give love offerings or whatever you deem it at church, and you do it every single month, then put that number here. If you do it every now and again, do not put a number here. And then for entertainment, you're going to look at, if you're paying for cable, you're going to put that here. What do you spend on eating out? Right? So how much do you spend on eating out? Do you do any sports, hobbies, or movies that you do every month? Or think about, if I go to the movies twice in a month, that might be, I don't know, $30 every time. So that's $60. If you're saving for vacations, you want to put that there. If you buy newspapers or magazines or books, you want to put that here. Now remember, with cable, even if you don't have cable, like if you have Netflix, I would probably write Netflix here. And then put the amount. All right, so personal. If you do the barber or you go to the hair salon every single month, or if, you buy whatever products you have to buy in order to do your hair, then you want to put that monthly amount here. Toiletries and cosmetics, monthly amount. If you smoke or drink, whether it's casual or however, you want to put that monthly amount here. For miscellaneous, if you have a pet, you want to put what it costs you to maintain that pet on a monthly basis. Gifts. So these are gifts that if you're buying gifts every single month, then I would put a number here. Any dues, union clubs, associations that you that you have to pay for on a monthly basis, you can put it here. Bank charges, stamps, envelopes, and again, it's a monthly fee. So if the bank charges you $10 to have your bank account with them every month, then you want to put $10. If you owe taxes and you're paying them every month, if you're on a payment plan, you want to put that there. And then miscellaneous. So here's where you want to list your credit cards and your loan payments. And you want to list those things that you are currently paying. So if I have a Target credit card and I pay $25 a month, and then I have an Old Navy credit card and I pay $10 per month. All right. So then what you're going to do is you're going to add up all your expenses. So if I add up all my expenses, it comes out to I'm adding them up now. Oh. Okay, let's try this again. So we're going to add the 800 plus the 80, 50, 60, 25, 210, 60, 102, 50. And you go ahead and you add yours up right now while I'm adding mine up. All right, so my total expenses I'm going to put here. So I added everything that I had. And my total expenses I'm going to add here. And then my net monthly income I'm going to get from up here, which I said was $2,000. All right. And then you're going to sign the document and date it. So now your budget should be done. So now let's review our Exhibit H. This document is used for the purposes of Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County wants to confirm that we are actually seeing and meeting with people. So the first thing you're going to put is you're going to write the total number of persons in your household. So how many people are going to be in the house that you're trying to acquire or that you currently have that is considered part of your household. So for Mary Smith, it's her and her 10-year-old child. So I'm going to put 2. The number of dependent children, Mary Smith has 1, which is the 10-year-old child. All right, so the total gross monthly income for the household. All right, so I'm going to wait and I'm going to fill this part out once I fill the bottom part out. So I'm going to go ahead and write your name in. And then write your current address. And you want to make sure that you include the city, the state, and the zip code. Okay. Do not use P.O. boxes. And if you are considered homeless, then use the last address that you used. Then put that address in. All right. So now what you're going to do is here you're going to do a participant's name. So you're going to put your name first. And the income, the gross income that Mary Smith receives is $2,600 a month. And she gets that from employment. All right. So you're going to write your name, whatever your gross income is, and then what is it from. Now, if Mary was getting $2,600 from her job and then $500 from child support, then I would put a total of $3,100, and I would put employment and child support. So now Mary has 2 people here in the household. So 2 people names need to be listed on this form in this box. So I'm going to type in Mary's son's name. He does not have any income, right? And you can leave because there's no source of income. And so you leave that blank. All right. So now you see that the gross monthly income is $2,600. So they want the total gross monthly income. And so we're going to put $2,600. Now, if you have a household with, 2 adults and 2 kids, then you're going to have 4 names, 2 adults and 2 kids, and you're going to add up the income that the adults receive in order to put it in this line. A hint, whatever number of household members you have here is the number of names that should show up in this box. And then you're going to sign it and date it. Remember, you're signing. I need your signature. You're going to sign. Then you're going to go to the next page. At the bottom where it says head of household demographic information. This is just for the head of household. So Mary considers herself a non-Hispanic African American woman, and she is the head of household. Now, this particular document also goes with the document we just filled out. So Salitas House, received a grant from Hillsborough County, And the funds are CDBG CV, which means that the funds they're COVID-related funds. And so what you are signing here is that you have not received duplication of benefits, which means that you have not received housing counseling from another agency that has also received CDBG CV funds. Okay? That's what this form says. That you know that you have not received housing counseling from another agency that is also receiving CDBG CV funds. Okay? And what you're going to do here is you're going to sign as the recipient and date. And everybody over the age of 18 must do that here. And then this document is a self-declaration to the CARES Act fund. So it goes with the above two documents that we filled out. So as a condition of receiving CARES Act CDBG fund services, okay? So as a condition of receiving services from Salidas House, where Hillsborough County is paying us to provide these services, and the funds that they're using is CDBG CV funds, you agree to the following. You agree that you're receiving services as a result of housing hardship attributed to COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so where it says you're describing the impact, COVID-19 created a financial hardship that directly affected my housing situation. The cost of housing in our area is extremely high and difficult to maintain. Unfortunately, the lack of affordable housing units add to this hardship. So my staff will sign here. You will sign here where it says Household Member 1 Award Recipient. And again, you're not being awarded any funds. What you're being awarded is the services that we provide. All right? Okay, so now the next two documents are only for those individuals that are in pre-purchase counseling. If you're not in pre-purchase counseling, so if you're here for rental counseling, then you are done. You are done. Okay? If you're receiving pre-purchase counseling, then these two documents need to be filled out. And Third Federal provides funding for us to provide pre-purchase counseling to our clients for free. So, again, and this is only for pre-purchase, you will write your first name and last name, your address, city, state, zip code, telephone number, and email address. And then this is only for individuals, households that are spouses. And this form just basically says that you understand that because you're a spouse, that your housing counselor will have conversations about income and spending habits. And sometimes, spouses don't know that the other one has a savings account or a credit card. So this is saying that you are consenting. It is okay to do joint counseling. And again, you only sign this if you are spouses and you're receiving pre-purchase counseling. All right. Although this is in your packet, just leave it blank if you are a rental, if you're receiving rental counseling. And then the last few documents are disclosures for you to have to take. Basically understand that equal housing opportunity, anytime you go and look for an apartment or a house, you should not be discriminated against because of your race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familiar status, or national origin. If at some reason you think that you have been, then by all means you can call this number or you can reach out to HUD. The next one is for your protection, get a home inspection. And again, this is for pre-purchase. We want you to get a home inspection. It's not a requirement for a lot of loan programs, but if you're applying for the City of Tampa's DARE, it is required. The next one is don't be a victim of loan fraud. We still have, very much so, lots of companies that do predatory lending. So we want to make sure that you do not fall victim to the predators out there. And then this is a 211 community resource guide. I usually tell clients to put this on their refrigerator. It gives you different agencies that provide different services. And then these are 10 questions to ask your home inspector. And this is when you are in the process of purchasing your home. And we are all done. So now the intake specialist will come over to collect your documents. They're going to review them to make sure that all your documents have been completed correctly. And if you have turned in all your paperwork, completed everything, the next step is that your intake specialist will give you an appointment to meet with your HUD certified housing counselor. I congratulate you. I applaud you for taking the step, for bringing in the documents, being organized, reading the instructions, understanding our process, and being able to move on to the next step. I look forward to hearing about great things in your hopes and dreams to attaining housing. All right. Thank you so much.